Good morning, it's Elaine with Elaine's Custom Cards, and today we're going to be making this card. I'm going to show you how I made it. It's using the Batik stamp set, and I'm using my Stamparatus. It's a lot easier to stamp it using the Stamparatus than not. So let's get started and I'll show you how I made this card. So we'll put this card over here so you can see it and the colors I'm using. And we're using the stitched, this is called rectangle stitched framelits. So what you want to do before you do anything is make sure your design is going to fit inside this frame. So that's what I did here with this. I put this up in the corner, laid this down, flipped this over and made sure that my design was within the framework here. You don't want it to go over. And this looks, I guess this looks the same. Anyway, so I made sure it was within the framework. Remove that. Anchor down my cardstock. And then the first thing I did was take Misty Moonlight. And I'm going to stamp this piece right here with Misty Moonlight, and that's the outside lines. Now you can use whatever color you want. This is just the color I chose. Let's be careful I don't get it on there. And then stamp. Okay? Once you stamp that, you're going to flip this over and stamp it on the other end of the card, because you're going to have a mirror image when you're done. Just like so. Okay? And you're going to close this so you don't get ink all over yourself, which I'm pretty famous for doing, and I don't want it on my card. So then I'm going to clean this stamp. Same reason, I don't want ink all over myself, and I want to put it away. So I'm going to clean the stamp, take a towel and wipe this off because I don't want it wet either. So let that dry a little bit. And then we're going to take Daffodil Delight, and I've already lined this up so it fits inside there. Hopefully it's fitting in there good. So we'll ink that with Stamp Daffodil Delight and press down. Not too bad, not perfect, but not bad either. Flip it over. I mean, it's going to be outside a little bit, but it's okay. Sometimes it's super hard to get it exact inside, as hard as you try, because I tried pretty hard to line it up. So that one's done. So we'll clean that off. Okay. And then wipe the Stamparatus off so it's somewhat dry. Close this. Okay, we'll take these off, put them back. Then we're going to take this piece and it's going to fit inside here. Another, sometimes this is hard to line up, but we do our best. So put that in there, back it up, and we're going to take Calypso Coral. I'll show you a trick for making that look even better. Stamp it. That looks pretty good. Do it again. Stamp it. Okay. Clean it off. And dry it. I'll leave that there for a minute because now we're going to do the leaves. So I'll take my outline of the leaves and decide where I want them. Now, I need them so that the frame, they don't go outside the frame. But I also need room for these little images right here. So they're going to go right in here. So I want to make sure I have enough room in there for those. So we'll kind of lay them down there. Let's see what we got here. I think let's get this on here. As long as it's, you know, can touch a little bit, but it's better if it doesn't. Now you can either use Mossy Meadow or the blue Misty Moonlight for that. I just want to make sure this is going to fit in there. So get that lined up. Like so. That looks good. Move this. I like it touching the flower. This out of the way. Well, here, let's do this first. Oops. Okay. Put this on there. Now we're going to take our Mossy Meadow and ink up the leaf outline. Just like so. For some reason, this is the messiest stamp pad I own. I re-inked it, but sometimes it just doesn't, I don't know what it is. That looks pretty good. Okay, we're going to flip it over. And ink it up again. And stamp. Okay, that turned out really good. So we're going to close this. We don't want to get it all over our fingers. Okay, now I'm going to clean this one off. A lot of times when I'm all done stamping, I'll take these over to the sink and clean them off better. I don't like leaving residue on there. Okay, this one's dry, so we'll take it off and put it back. And we'll take our fill-in of the leaves and we'll set those on there. And again, lining up doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm someone who likes it to be as close to perfection as I can possibly get it. So set that on there, pick it up, take our old olive, ink it up, and stamp. that looks good to me. Turn it over. Ink it up. One of the reasons I always close my, besides not wanting to get messy all over myself, I close my stamp pads because I've been known to mix up the colors. Ooh, I like that. Okay, we're going to close the green. And clean this stamp. And you can run these under your kitchen faucet or bathroom faucet and get them cleaner. I usually do that when I'm all done working with them. Before I put them all away, I'll give them a good cleaning. So put this back over here. I'll go ahead and take this one off of there. Okay, now we're going to use this one. This one right here. I want this one to look like that, and this, I made plenty of room for that to fit right there. Okay, so we'll bring this down, and I'm going to ink that up with Misty Moonlight. Ink and stamp. Okay, that looks good. Turn it over. Ink and stamp. Okay, now let's go ahead and clean that. And then I'm going to do something else first because I'm not quite done with this blue. So I'm going to take my thank you that's right here, and that comes from the Very Versailles stamp set right here, that little stamp. And we've got to use our frame again so that we get that thank you within the framework. Just like so. Ink it up. And we're going to stamp it right here in the corner. Just like that. Look at that. We'll just have to deal with it because I'm not doing it over. So that's our thank you. I can always cover that up by using something. Doesn't have to be stamped directly on if you don't like the way it looks, or you don't like the way it turned out because it's smeared a little bit. I'll show you how to fix that. We'll close this for now. Okay, now I'm going to take the last image for the yellow in here, the Daffodil Delight. We're going to set that down on there. Just like so. Okay. Put this down here so this doesn't lift. Take our Daffodil Delight. Ink it up. And stamp. Flip it over. Pick it up. And stamp. Okay. Now, if you've made a little thing like that and you don't like it, let me show you how you can fix that. Put this back so we don't lose it because it's tiny. I'm going to take a piece of, let's see if I got a small piece here, white. It's the same. Put this over. I'm going to stamp it. I don't know. I'll have to figure out something else. I really don't know if I'm going to like that. We'll leave it for now. Okay, this piece is done. The next thing you're going to do is cut it out with this on your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'll do that really quick. It's behind my desk, so get that cut out. Okay. Stamp cases work really nice for putting under the plastic doohickeys of the Stamparatus, the plates. Keeps them nice and flat. So there's that. Set that aside. And then we're going to take our piece of Misty Moonlight that is 5 1/4 by 3 7/8. And we're going to glue those together, just like so. Okay? Just like that. So that's going to get glued like that. Then we're going to take on the inside of our card and I'm going to do it like this. And I'm going to take this image right here and I'm going to put it right there. I'll show you what it looks like here. Looks like this. Okay? And I always try to do this first before I glue the front, just in case I mess this up, and this will be the front of the card. So I'm going to get that straight, put this down. Look at this. See what happened here? Must have been ink on this somehow. So we're going to make that the front because we're going to cover that up. We don't care about that little bit. Now this is the inside. Don't know how ink got on that. So I stamped that with Misty Moonlight. Let's see. Yes. So, Misty Moonlight on this. Really don't like it when the stamp pads do that, but you can wipe it off. There. Stamp it. Close it for now. Clean your fingers off. If you got ink all over your fingers, you want to get it off. So I do that. We'll clean this. Okay. Wipe it off. So once you do that, then you're going to do the same thing with this piece right here. You're going to set it inside there, line it up the best you can. Without getting your head in the camera. And down. Coatzel coral. Ink it up. And stamp. See, it didn't line up very good. I think the thing moved. Anyway, this is the idea we can redo this. If I don't like something, I'll redo it. Obviously, I don't like this. So, that's how you do this, only you're supposed to line it up. And lining it up on camera is really hard. So, after I did that, without continuing on, the next thing I did was stamp the sentiment, and then I colored this in with Daffodil Delight, and you can use, this has these little pieces right here that go on the inside right here. You can either do that, or you can use your Stampin' Right markers and color this in with Mossy Meadow and then Old Olive, and then I just use Daffodil Delight on that. And then for the envelope, I used this image and I just colored it in with the same colors that I used on the inside. And then I stamped the sentiment that came from this stamp set, The World is Better Because of You. That's what I stamped on the inside. So that's how you do stamping like this with a stamp set that looks like this. You just try to match up. Sometimes it's hard, and doing it on camera is mostly difficult for me. I do a whole lot better when I have more time to just really concentrate, because this, I don't like the way this looks, and I'll do this over when I finish the card. So I hope you have a blessed day. I hope you like this card. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And I will put all the sizes, dimensions, and colors on my blog. So just push the little down arrow and you can find a link to my blog and my online store. And I'll leave a list with all the pieces and sizes. So I hope you have a blessed day and have fun stamping.